Sexual energy is one of the most potent forces within human beings. It drives creativity, motivation, and even spiritual growth. Yet in today's world, there is a growing sense that external forces, corporations, media, and even societal structures are deliberately trying to harvest, manipulate, and drain this energy for their own benefit. Sexual energy is one of the most powerful, primal, and misunderstood forces in human existence. It drives creation, connection, vitality, ambition, and even spiritual awakening. Yet, in today's hyper-consumerist, attention-driven, and exploitative world, this sacred energy is often hijacked, manipulated, and commodified, not just through media and relationships, but through systems and beliefs that distort its power. This video explores how others seek to access, drain, or manipulate your sexual energy, consciously or unconsciously, and how you can reclaim, protect, and transform it. We'll cover the psychological, societal, and spiritual mechanisms at play, and end with a practical guide to mastering your own energy for personal evolution. Sexual energy is not just about sex. It is life force. The same energy that fuels sexual attraction also fuels creativity, intuition, and spiritual growth. In Eastern traditions, it is known as Kundalini, Chi, or Prana. In Western psychology, it can be likened to Freud's concept of libido, a reservoir of psychic energy. Forms of sexual energy: creative drive, the urge to build, write, paint, innovate; vitality, the essence of health and attraction; magnetism, charisma, presence, and charm; spiritual power, transmutation into higher states of consciousness. Understanding that sexual energy is more than physical makes it clear why it's so valuable and why others might want to tap into yours. Modern life is filled with systems designed to capture and redirect your attention, and often your sexual energy. Billions are spent every year to design images, sounds, and narratives that arouse you just enough to influence your decisions, but not enough to fulfill you. Advertisements use sexual imagery to sell everything from hamburgers to cars. Social media platforms reward sexualized content because it gets more engagement. From the constant bombardment of hypersexualized advertisements to the addictive nature of pornography and the normalization of casual hookup culture, it appears that there is a systematic effort to keep people in a state of low-frequency arousal, distraction, and depletion. But why? And who benefits from this? Porn is one of the largest industries in the world. Beyond ethical debates, its core function is to hijack your dopamine system, creating a cycle of stimulation, release, and depletion. Over time, this weakens your willpower, dulls your natural desire, and fragments your sense of intimacy. When you're constantly aroused but never satisfied, you're easier to manipulate. You're not just consuming, you're being consumed. Porn is one of the largest industries in the world. Beyond ethical debates, its core function is to hijack your dopamine system, creating a cycle of stimulation, release, and depletion. Over time, this weakens your willpower, dulls your natural desire, and fragments your sense of intimacy. When you're constantly aroused but never satisfied, you're easier to manipulate. In environments with strong hierarchies, sexual energy often plays a subliminal role. Power dynamics get entangled with attraction and validation, leading to environments where people are drained emotionally and energetically, not just physically. Some individuals, consciously or unconsciously, seek to drain others of their sexual energy for their own gain. This can manifest in romantic, platonic, or even professional relationships. Emotional vampires. These are people who constantly demand your attention, validation, or care. They may use flirtation or emotional manipulation to keep you hooked, giving little in return. Narcissists often weaponize seduction. They mirror your desires, make you feel seen, then slowly erode your self-worth. The relationship becomes a one-way transaction of energy, especially sexual energy, leaving you depleted. These individuals feed on your energy through subtle control, gaslighting, love bombing, or spiritual manipulation. Some spiritual teachers or gurus exploit followers by manipulating their sense of devotion or sacred sexuality. Even friends can unknowingly siphon your energy. Sexual tension that is never addressed, ongoing flirtation without intimacy, or constant boundary crossing can subtly drain your reserves. Click on the link below and join our Telegram channel for inspiration and exhortation. Let's move on. Many ancient traditions recognize sexual energy as sacred. In Tantra, sexual union is a path to spiritual awakening. Kundalini energy, coiled at the base of the spine, is awakened through conscious cultivation of sexual energy. When activated, it moves upward, illuminating higher chakras and expanding consciousness. But if this energy is misused or leaked, it remains dormant, or worse, stagnates and causes emotional or physical distress. Some mystics and monks practice celibacy not out of repression, but as a way to transmute sexual energy into divine consciousness. Napoleon Hill, in Think and Grow Rich, even spoke of sexual transmutation as a key to success. When sexual energy is retained and directed, it becomes power, focus clear and luminous. We live in a world that simultaneously fetishizes and suppresses sexuality. This duality creates shame, confusion, and a fractured relationship with your own desire. Religious guilt. You're taught sex is sinful. Cultural hypersexualization. You're bombarded with sexual images. Emotional disconnection. You're encouraged to perform, not feel. This confusion makes people easier to control. When you're disconnected from your sexual center, you're disconnected from your power. You might not always recognize when you're being energetically siphoned. Look for these signs: chronic fatigue or listlessness, obsessive thoughts about someone, feeling off after certain interactions, compulsive sexual behaviors or porn use, low creative drive or inspiration, neediness or emotional confusion in relationships. When your energy is low, your boundaries weaken, your mind fogs, and your life becomes reactive instead of intentional. The first step is realizing your energy is valuable. Notice where and to whom you give your attention. Who leaves you energized? Who drains you? Energetic ties can linger long after relationships end, especially sexual ones. Use visualization or ritual to cut cords and reclaim your sovereignty. Example: imagine a cord between you and another person. Visualize cutting it with light, then sealing both ends with golden energy. Men can explore semen retention to rebuild life force. Women can practice energy containment through breath work, womb meditation, or yoni eggs. Both can learn to circulate sexual energy rather than release it unconsciously. Turn desire into creativity. Take the fire of arousal and channel into art, business, or spiritual practice. Use physical practices like yoga, dance, or martial arts to move the energy upward. Not everyone deserves access to your body, mind, or aura. Create boundaries. Limit sexual or flirtatious exchanges, unless they're mutual, respectful, and aligned. Sexual sovereignty means you own your energy. You are not reactive. You choose where it flows. You honor your desires without shame and without compulsively acting on them. You are aware of your power, and you use it wisely. Practices to build sexual sovereignty. Meditation focused on sacral and solar plexus chakras. Daily breath work to circulate energy. Journaling to clarify emotional and sexual boundaries. There's a big difference between intimacy and energetic draining. Intimacy expands you. It feels safe, warm, and regenerative. It deepens your connection with yourself and others. Draining dynamics confuse, addict, and leave you feeling hollow. To choose intimacy over compulsion. Learn to recognize manipulation masked as affection. Choose partners who respect your energy. Make sex an intentional act, not just a release. Solo sexual exploration with intention, not shame or compulsion. Sacred celibacy or conscious coupling. There's a big difference between intimacy and energetic draining. Intimacy expands you. It feels safe, warm, and regenerative. It deepens your connection with yourself and others. Draining dynamics confuse, addict, and leave you feeling hollow. To choose intimacy over compulsion. Learn to recognize manipulation masked as affection. Choose partners who respect your energy. Make sex an intentional act, not just a release. If you've been drained, manipulated, or misused, know this. Your power is not lost. It is waiting to be reclaimed. You are not a victim of your desire. You are its master. Alchemists turn base material into gold. You can turn sexual pain into power, longing into art, lust into clarity. Your sexual energy isn't just for others. It's for you, to awaken, to thrive, to create. In a world that tries to use, sell, or shame your sexual energy, choosing to own and protect is a radical act of self-love and power. Let this truth anchor you. Your sexual energy is not for everyone. It is sacred, creative, and magnetic. It is the fuel of your life force, the essence of your power. When you protect it, you protect your future. They may want your energy, but it is yours to keep, own, and direct. And when you do that, you become unstoppable.